Where on earth is he?
I don't know, he's always late.
I'm here. Oh, all right. We're right then. We're ready.
What the hell are you wearing?
What? This? There's no wrong with this. I quite like it.
You were in that for a bet?
Well, you see, last week Owen got some really nice comments about that jumper.
Oof, yeah.
Well, I thought I'd have a piece of that action. I thought this will do for me. Yeah.
I thought students had bad dress sense.
They do. Welcome to this week's Cats Whiskers TV. Coming up on this week's show, more interviews than you can shake a very big stick at. We'll be talking to Nottingham Lions captain Luke Thomas, former Panthers legend Simon Hunt, both coaches after last Saturday's game, Ryan Finnerty and Corey Neilson. We'll also be speaking to Danny Meyers and also direct from the NHL, Anthony Stewart. Keep watching, but first, it's Paul Baum with the news.
I'm Paul Barman, this is the news. Elite League reveals super slow-mo technology ahead of Guy Lepine's return to the country. Brayhead fits a new dressing room door. Craig Holland revels in his role as Capital's #1. And that was the news.
This week, the Cats Whiskers team went up north.
And guess who was waiting for us?
Draw tickets here, guys. Come on, draw tickets. For £2 tonight, pal. Come on, draw tickets. Draw tickets. Draw tickets here, guys. Come on, draw tickets.
Good revenue stream for you, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, and it shows what all clubs have been missing for the last 20 odd years, doesn't it? You know, we've all done it. Draw tickets here, guys. Come on, draw tickets. Get on camera. Nobody watches it, it's only Jono. So.
Yeah.
Draw tickets here, guys. No, it is though. It shows what clubs have been missing for a while. I mean, it started here because I've always thought ours was too low. Legend. And then one day the owner says, well, if you think you can do any better, get on and do it. So we did. How many, pal?
2, please.
So we've taken it from an average of £350 up to, you know, tonight it'll be over 2,000 quid, but it's an average of 12, 13, 14, 1,500 quid. Draw tickets, pal. Over £2 tonight, pal. So you know what? It's you know what? I went up to Hull and did one of my evening, you know, like we did, and the guys in Hull now are doing 300 quid instead of doing 50 quid. Draw tickets, pal. 50-50. There you go. Thanks a lot, sweet.
All right, Dave, well, we'll leave you to it and we'll see you later.
You will. Have you bought any?
I have. I bought one off you earlier.
That was about 3 years ago, John. It's 3, and you still bring the same ticket out every night. He brings the same ticket out. What a tight ass. What a tight ass.
Tuma, a 2-minute minor penalty for hooking. Panthers 59, Martin Tuma. 2-minute hooking minor, penalty time, 25 minutes and 36 seconds.
So this has been your home for what, 21 years now? Best view in the house.
Well, best seat in the house by a country mile, Johnny. Here, as you'll see yourself here. Yeah, you get to see everything, and been some good times up here.
Yeah.
Not too good at the moment, but pretty good times. Yeah.
So just quickly, what do you think of Stewart? I mean, seen only a period of him, but
the one thing when you're working, you don't see the game so much. I've seen a couple of his shifts. I haven't seen a great deal of him at all. Because you're working, there's so much going on here. You actually see more on the road. You see more when, you know, when we're in Nottingham or in Hull or in Coventry or Cardiff than you actually do here. You're working, as you can see. You've got Steve, Justin, Phil. You know, everybody's doing different things. You're trying to coordinate everything. You've got people speaking to you in your ear. So you don't see a lot of the game. I'm expecting he'll be a really good, solid player. He's not going to be an end-to-end guy, but he's going to be a super hockey player. And
if he can stay here for a while, which all depended on the lockout, doesn't it?
Let's get the NHL boys back, I say. We were all hoping they were going to go back yesterday. It's a great atmosphere in here tonight.
So these I mean, how important are these sort of games for Sheffield? Because you see big crowds, so this must be really, really important,
Well, it's important
to the Steelers.
It's important on numerous levels. One, hey, it's a good money maker, you know, and we play games against, with all due respect, some teams that aren't big money makers. Secondly, we're entertaining a lot of potential sponsors tonight. These are the games that you do that. These are the games where the editors of the newspapers, you invite them down. The councillors, you invite them down. The bigwigs who you want some support of, you invite them down. So from a financial view, it's always important, but also from a wider scale than just that, it's very important to get people down here, perhaps witnessing their first game. There's a couple of companies in here tonight we've just been to see. First game, they absolutely love it. Some big hitters as well, so you try and tickle them if you like in this kind of atmosphere. Yeah.
So, one final question for you. How long do you see yourself staying in this little hutch for Sheffield home games?
Not till I die, and then the ashes will be spread centre ice.
Well, just cut a bit out,
Just
bury it
out.
out,
That's right.
freeze it back over.
Every year, take it back out, put it back in again, yeah?
Okay. So, Simsy, buried in the middle of Sheffield Arena ice. Nice thought.
Don't tempt me.
You can't deny, though, that the guy does sweat blood for the club.
He does, but he really shouldn't wear orange. He looked like a son in that clip.
Of course, to be serious for a moment, that 50-50, they worked really hard on it. It raised over £2,000 for the club. It's a massive revenue stream for them.
It is, but they've got to pay for the new NHLer somehow, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll come on to that later. Do you think other clubs should probably take a leaf out of the Steelers' book there, though? Because, you know, a lot of clubs, some of you, I'm thinking more of your Hulls, Edinburghs, Dundees, they could really do with that extra revenue, and if they push something like the 50-50, it will probably make them a bit more competitive with a bigger weekly income. It
probably would, but what I think the clubs have also got to remember is that, you know, that people have only got so much money. You know, how much are tickets these days? £15-16. You know, you start adding 50 tickets on a family, you know, they're looking at 70 quid, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people.
Of course, we weren't just there for Simsy on Saturday night, we was there for a game as well. Our reporter Aaron Lord tells the story.
Panthers' first away game this season at the House of Steel saw them not only seeking revenge, but the addition of former NHLer Anthony Stewart to the roster. Warming up, he already seemed to have a strong presence amongst his teammates, and fans were soon treated to a show of his speed and skill over the ice. Regular time saw play level at 1 apiece, with Jordan Fox and Jeff Legui both ensuring their place on the score sheet. But the real celebratory moment for Panthers fans came in the shootout. Matt Francis was first for the Panthers, and after a successful penalty shot against the Giants, he pops it past the Carrow to put the Panthers 1-0 up. First for the Steelers was Colin Shields, but he was firmly denied by Kowalski. With the shootout sitting in Panthers' favour, David Ling dummies De Caro to find the net and leaving Sheffield no option but to score. Jeff Legui stepped up, but it was Kowalski's night as he denied the Steelers, and the Panthers celebrate taking 2 points back to Nottingham and levelling the series at 1 apiece. After the game, we caught up with both teams to get their reactions.
Close game tonight, Coach.
Definitely. I thought a little sloppy. We didn't execute as well as we had planned, but we got the win.
Always a good place to come and pick up the 2 points.
Yeah, Sheffield's a good team. I don't think they played particularly well tonight. They didn't establish their forecheck like they normally do. But conversely, neither did we. We didn't load up very well in the neutral zone. We didn't generate much speed. Therefore, we didn't get it in. But I thought the guys competed hard, especially towards the end. We endured a lot of their pressure towards the end, which happens on the road, and they came hard at us. But hey, we blocked some shots. I thought our goalie was excellent, and we got the win.
How frustrating is it standing behind the bench to actually being on the ice?
Well, it's frustrating. You know, it was frustrating before the game started because obviously, you know, for about 1,000 years now, I've been preparing as a hockey player. But it's also exciting with the new role. I mean, it's the first time I had to be on the bench and roll lines and do things. So it was a nice challenge. It was funny because I could play in front of 15,000 people and my heart rate doesn't even go up. But tonight I didn't want to let anybody down, didn't want to let the players down, and been rehearsing all week. So it was good. The boys worked hard for me and we got the win.
Tough game, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought we played well enough to win. A bit frustrating that obviously we didn't secure the second point, but can't take anything away from Nottingham. They played great. Shorthanded. Thought they played a very smart road game, and 1-1 hockey game. It's like I said, both goalies played well defensively. They played well, and frustrated that our power play let us down. It's probably won us 3 or 4 games already, and tonight we couldn't get it going for whatever reason off night, or I think Nottingham probably changed their kill up a bit, and we couldn't sustain any pressure on them. So, but like I said, I'm disappointed not to get the second point, but it was a good game. It was a good hockey game, and that's what happens when 2 good teams play each other. A 1-1 game, you go into a shootout, and it's anybody's game. So. We'll move on from there. We'll build from tonight and move on. We got a big game tomorrow that we got to bounce back, and that's what we got to do now.
Is this indicative of how close the conference or the league is this season?
Absolutely. I think. Like I said, I'm sitting here saying we did enough to win, and Nottingham had a lot of chances as well. They created a lot of chances, and some that they'd want back. So, you walk out of it, and like I said, you're always mad when you don't get that second point. But like I said, we did some good things today, and we got to build on it. It's going to be a long year. The conference is so tight, and these games are indicative of how tight they are. And like I said, I think it was an entertaining game to watch from a fan's point of view. A lot of skill out there, and like I said, good goaltending. And it's frustrating being on the losing end, but you got to build from here. And tomorrow's a new day, and we got to get back on track.
Thanks for your time, Ryan.
Thank you.
Do you think Daddy should score more goals?
Yeah.
Shall we talk to Daddy? Of course.
Thanks,
Danny.
Jono.
That's all right. So, tough game.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it was kind of cagey. It kind of felt cagey in the first period. Both teams seemed a little nervous out there. It seemed to pick up in the second period, and I thought the third period, to me, seemed pretty exciting out there. It's always kind of hard to gauge when you're on the bench, like what the game is actually like, but it seemed like it was pretty up and down, and I thought it was a pretty good game.
Yeah. Easier than last week?
Well, you know what?
I mean, personally. Yeah.
It was. We kind of knew that. I knew the guys on the Panthers team would be a lot more relaxed because you're kind of getting away from the home arena. So when you're playing on the road, you kind of have a little bit less pressure, and I think you could tell that with some of the players out there. You could kind of sense a little bit of pressure on the Panthers players last week, and they kind of were a little bit stifled, sort of thing. And we kind of took advantage there. And I thought it was a great battle, and Killer played great, made some huge saves, and Johnny DeCaro was awesome for us as well. And all in all, it was a pretty good game. Obviously, pretty disappointing that we lost in a shootout, but for us, if we're going to lose, at least we'd like to take a point.
How did that compare to NHL games?
It was definitely fast-paced, NHL-like. So, maybe I underestimated the speed a bit, and it was definitely, it was pretty tough. With the wide ice and the big ice, it was, a little tough on the legs. So, I felt, pretty good for the first game, but let's a couple more games underneath on my legs. I'll be ready to go.
Did the noise in the crowd, size of the crowd, surprise you?
Yeah, it was great. They're pretty loud, chanting. We definitely heard them, and we noticed there was some Nottingham fans also. So it's a great turnout, and it's comparable to North American in the minor leagues over there. I believe there was 7,000, 5,000 tonight. So it's definitely a good turnout and surprising in every sense of the word.
How much did you know about the British League and the game before you came over here?
Not much, but I try to do my research looking online, and I know a couple of guys on Sheffield. I played with Drew Fadden Jr. a bit, played against Steve Gerritsen and Corey Pecker, and I did my research and just saw that it was a good league, and all these guys pretty good players out in North American. So I knew it was going to be pretty tough, and definitely met my expectations.
What's the latest on the lockout? Are you expecting it to carry on, or is it just so far up in the air nobody knows at the moment?
I'm a bit out of the loop, but last time I heard the league and the PA has been meeting for the last 3 days in New York City working on non-economic issues. So that's a start in the right direction. So as long as they're at the table bargaining right now, it's it's a good sign. So we're still a bit of ways away, but we'll see how it goes in the next week to 10 days here.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Anthony. Well played.
Thank you.
Great win in Sheffield. A really good place to go and pick up 2 points.
It always is. It always is. I mean, okay, it was a draw that went to penalty shots, but I'll take 2 points in Sheffield any day of the week.
Of course, it was a debut for Anthony Stewart from the NHL. He looked one step above everybody else on the ice. Unfortunately, nobody else could keep up with him.
Oh, that's the thing, is the problem he's going to have, that he's going to have to get used to the fact that his teammates aren't other NHLers, and they're not used to the tricks he can pull.
Move on to the penalty shots. Great one by Matt Francis. Some real skill beating DeCaro through the 5-hole on the backhand. But I want to talk more about David Lings. I mean, how much notice did he give of that wind-up shot?
Well, but that's the idea, I think, that you wind up like that, you wait for DeCaro to make the move. If he does, you go round him like he did, and if he doesn't, then you shoot.
Are you surprised that DeCaro probably hadn't watched the video, because he pulled exactly the same move against Stephen Murphy in the penalty shootout a couple of weeks ago and hit the post? So someone has obviously not done their homework there, I don't think.
Well, possibly, or maybe it doesn't matter. I mean, look at somebody like Jay Galbraith. He always does the same thing, more or less, with the penalty shots, and the quality of what he does is good enough that he gets the goals more times than not.
Yeah, that's a good point. Moving on to Tuesday night and a home game against Cardiff, I think we were both expecting a little bit more than what we actually got.
I think we were. Are you talking about our friend Devon?
Yeah, well, we asked for fans' comments on Twitter today, and these are just a few that we've got on here. Yeah, well, the ones I can repeat, of course. From Jerome Lucy, who's a Panthers fan: if he causes much hype as he does, you must try and live up to it, surely. Jason Smith, who's a Steelers fan: Devon, is he worth the hype? I think that's a resounding no from...
Not so far, no.
No. And just other tweets that we had basically about his effective no-show last night. He came in, he was tweeting about apparently what a dump Nottingham was, and he was as quiet as a mouse. In fact, I think the closest he got to Lepine was in the ceremonial handshake.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost convinced that he bought the referee a couple of drinks to get him that assist, so people knew he was there. He did nothing else all night.
Of course, Guillaume Lepine made his return to the Panthers. Had a pretty solid game, I thought.
He did. It looked at times like he'd never been away. There was a bit of rustiness, and the same to an extent with Stewart. But, you're going to get that. They've not played for a few weeks, well, months even. So you're going to get that. But I thought a pretty solid return. But by the same token, I don't think Cardiff really did that much to worry us. I mean, 2 goals. I think it flattered him, to be honest.
I think you're right. Obviously, the defence seems to have tightened up a bit since Corey Neilson moved behind the bench. Eric Werner, I thought, had a fantastic game.
He is. We were talking last night about his size. Sorry, Jono, but but we were saying, if he wasn't as small as he is, then we doubt he'd be over here. He's certainly got the moves. He certainly likes going forward, and he was effective when he did. So he's one of the players that's I think is growing into his role, and is really starting to improve now.
Got a tweet here from Michael Harness saying, "I've always liked Werner ever since I saw him against Hull, but Beckett I still have doubts about, but he has improved."
I think he's right. Beckett has improved. I'm not sure about having doubts about him. They play 2 very different games. I think Beckett is more stay at home. I think there are other pieces in the jigsaw that fit worse than Beckett at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just a final point about Martin Tuma, who was a healthy scratch last night. Do you think we'll see him playing for the Panthers again?
In a couple of words, I doubt it.
Okay, thanks for the moment. So that was Panthers over the last 7 days, but also we wanted to talk about other things that's been happening in the league over the weekend. Asked for some of your tweets, and we got quite a few earlier today, and we got one from Douglas Lafferty, or Clan Fan Doug, big fan of the show. He always tells us how much he enjoys it. He says, "Can you talk about the Brayhead Clan?" So, yeah, Brayhead Clan.
It's not going well so far, is it? Yeah. We think we've had problems, but oh dear.
Yeah, sorry, Doug, but I think if we had to sum it up in a couple of words, underachieving would be it. Of course, no, it's two.
No, it's not. It's one word.
I say it's 2. Anyway, moving on. Of course, Corey Pecker was released by the Sheffield Steelers this week, and we have to say a big well done to the Yorkshire Post for this fantastic headline. Pecker chopped by Steelers. Yorkshire Post, we salute you for that. That is fantastic. But Steelers fans, don't worry, you've still got wood. We were a very busy team this weekend, and on Sunday we were down at the NIC to take in the game of the Nottingham Lions. Aaron Lord reports again.
Sunday night's action at the National Ice Centre saw the Nottingham Lions step up against the D-side Dragons. The Lions were on fighting form, putting away 5 goals in the first 22 minutes, including a hat-trick by Joe Whiteman. Both teams battled on with further goals in the second period, but it was the visitors who dominated the third as they clawed back the score. The final result on the night, D-side Dragons 6, Nottingham Lions 8.
Luke, happy with the result?
Yeah, fantastic result. First top of the table clash. First of 8 big games this season. And to get another big W on the board, that puts us 4 unbeaten now, 5 unbeaten. With Flintshire already losing 2. So great result.
Yeah. I mean, that's 4 on 4 for the season. Yeah, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, fantastic. The boys are doing brilliantly. There was a big clear out in the summer and we lost some key players, but some of the juniors have really stepped up and really made the play. Young Ollie Bettridge has been a difference this season. He's been absolutely fantastic. Good prospect for the future. But then again, some of the older guys, Joe Whiteman, Flatsy, they're all fantastic and really stepped up to the plate.
Good win tonight, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, tough. We knew it was going to be tough. They was tipped to win the league. Obviously they've got to come in here and see what we've got, and I think we've shown them, so yeah, it's good.
How's it feel being the oldest guy in the team by some distance?
I think I'm probably getting up for the oldest guy in the league, aren't I? But, yeah, no, it's good. I mean, you go out there, we've got some young lads that are willing to skate and do all the hard work, and I'm just trying to sit back a little bit and let them do it. But no, it's okay.
So, hypothetically speaking, Panthers come along and say they want you on a 2-way. What are you going to do?
Checkbook's not big enough. No, that. I mean, crikey, I'm 40 next, and you know, I've got work and things like that. And you know, this is fun. I'm playing the home games and things. It would be nice, but I think. I'd have to seriously think about it and seriously creep to the wife, see whether she'd let me, but no, I don't think.
How do you feel about seeing a true Panthers legend then?
What? Is Castle Masters playing?
Really good win for the Lions, I thought, and there seems to be a real buzz about the club at the moment.
There does. I mean, there was a lot of talk before the season started. A lot of players went, a lot of new ones were brought in, and you know, there were people didn't like the way things were being done. But you've got to look at the start of the season they've had and think there's something going right there.
Of course, we was talking to Coach Matt Bradbury after the game, and he was saying how there's been a pick-up in sponsorship, the crowds have increased, so it's all going well for them. And of course, winning their first 4 games, you know, it's going to stand them in good stead for the rest of the season.
Oh, it is. I mean, you know, you get onto a run like that and you want to keep going, you know, so, and let's hope they do.
And of course, you've got to look at the quality of player that they have now. I mean, Josh Ward is playing there when he's not playing for Panthers. You've got the likes of youngsters Ollie Bettridge, Sam Gospel in net, and of course, the Panthers legend that is Simon Hunt.
Well, he's still a youngster as far as I'm concerned, but yeah, I mean, it certainly felt like rolling back the years on Sunday night, seeing Hunty playing for us again, and you know, there's a lot of people get called legends when they're not, but he's certainly a name, you know, where you've got to, you know, it's one of those names that you associate with a legend. I mean, I think it's an absolute travesty that his name's not been retired along with, you know, 3, 10, 11 and 22. And 9 for Terry Kurtenbach as well. But that's a different something we can discuss another week. You know, I think it's an absolute tragedy.
I think I'd agree. I mean, Hunty was my favourite player when I first, well, not when I first started going down, but certainly my favourite player over the years of watching the Panthers. It was great to talk to him. We will hopefully be featuring the Lions a couple more times, maybe 3, during the rest of the season. So looking ahead to this weekend's games, Coventry on Friday, first time we've faced them. this season. They've been a bit of a surprise package so far.
They've been doing better than a lot of people expected them to, certainly. Yeah, but obviously they've had their issues, and we've talked about the Danton issue last week. He's now gone to Sweden, but they've still got a gap to fill there.
So, I mean, obviously they've got the likes of Olsen, who's a big guy, Lieb, who's a big guy. Think we could see Mr. Lepine having a dance on Friday?
Well, who knows, but we thought that about Tuesday night, didn't we?
True. Yeah. So, what sort of game are you expecting? Because I honestly think it's going to be an absolutely cracking game on Friday night.
It could be, yeah. I mean, it's got all the makings. I think there's going to be hits, there's going to be goals. So yeah, it could be a cracker.
Moving on to Saturday, and it's our third game against the Belfast Giants. The first game we've got at the Odyssey. We didn't look too great the weekend that they were here, but obviously we've strengthened since then with Anthony Stewart and Lepine coming back. How do you think we'll get on?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to call. It's a tough place to go. But like you say, we've strengthened, but they've had time as well to gel. So it could be a difficult night for us. I think that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Of course, you will be able to watch the game on Giants Live TV. I believe it's about £8, and there's a live stream of the game straight to your laptop or your computer or your hard drive, whatever you're watching it on. And if we can get hold of the footage, that'd be really good. Thank you. Of course, next week we are looking to have a interactive fan show. So get in touch with us. Use our Twitter address at CatsWhiskersTV, or email us a video. Anything you want us to discuss. We'll have a guest next week. We don't know who it is yet, and we'll discuss anything you want to within reason and bounds of decency, of course. The email address and Twitter address are on the screen now. Right, that's all for this week. I think we're just about done.
I think we are. Yeah. We've done as much as we can get away with. I think. Yep.
Our stick is well and truly shaken. Until next week. Good night.
See, Didier Mete got an assist last night then.
Did he? Didn't notice.